Hello, everybody. We'll just give a couple of minutes for everyone to get in who wants to watch here.
One moment, guys. Sorry, a little technical mishap here. Just one moment.
Hello again, everyone. All right. So welcome. If you want to, feel free to write in the chat box and tell me where you're tuning in from right now, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Just going to open my chat so I can see your answers for that. Cool. So a few little housekeeping things to start off with. You guys are welcome to ask questions at any time. If you have questions during the call, please just use the chat box. Or if you'd like to ask your question live, that's totally okay as well. There is a raise hand button. So if you look down at the bottom and find that, you are welcome to press that and we can unmute your mic and you can ask your question to the guys live. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Shannon. Hi. I work for Aerosports and Marketing and I'll be hosting today. And our special guests on the webinar are Hayabusa, who are the current world champion FS team. And from Hayabusa today, we have Dennis, David, and Mike here. So I'm gonna give over the screen to them now and they're gonna start off talking about some stuff. Remember, if you have questions, just put them in the chat box and we'll get to them.
Great. Hi guys. First of all, I would like to introduce myself and then I'm gonna let the word to all my teammates. My name is Dennis Pratt. I am 30 years old, living in Belgium as well as all the rest. And I joined the team in 2010 as an alternate. Then when the team did the World Championships, then afterwards there was one member that stopped and I took the slot. So it's been now 10 years almost that I've been doing this and been having a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work for sure, but I managed to become with this team 3 times world champion outdoor and indoor as well. I can see, is David there? I don't see, is David there?
I think no. David has a bit of a problem with his audio right now. So they're just working that out in the background.
Okay, then I'm gonna let Mikey introduce himself, our new member.
Hello guys, I'm Michele Sydney, or it's easier to call me Mike. As you heard about my accent, I'm not Belgian, so I'm Italian. And I joined the team from December 2019 as alternate and still continue to be alternate since the war meet in Russia in August, when they will pass cameraman and I will step into the four-way formation. Before to join the team, I was in the Italian national team Amnesia. We won 2 Italian titles, 1 indoor and 1 outdoor. Then we went to the world meet in Australia and we did 5th place, no, 6th place, yeah. And then after that, I had the proposal from the team to join Hayabusa. But before that, I had to do my military bootcamp because we know that the team is a military team. So before that, I had to enter the army, the Belgian army, that can that all the European citizens can go for it. And just I entered the army by learning French, and I did my bootcamp, and now I'm with the team. I follow the team everywhere and trying to learn the most as I can from them. That's my little story.
All right. Do we have David or don't we? Ah,
yeah,
there
David is here. David is here. Sorry.
So we were just introducing everyone. So Dave, up to you, original member.
Yeah. As you know, my name is David Grgs. I'm already a member of Hayabusa since it actually got founded in the end of 2002. So that's about I don't know, 18 years. I am in my last year as an active athlete, meaning that I will do full weight until the Mondial, the upcoming Mondial, I hope. And then I will take the place of our retiring cameraman, Luc van Ditsem. Since we were in the army, he's going on a retirement on the age of 56. So I will pick up his slot, and then eventually Mike will pick up my slot, and I think we will start training, hopefully again, in the beginning of September. And I'm really not looking forward to the change, but I know that in the long run for the team, it will be one of the best decisions that I think we, as a group, ever made. I think we're now already together for 6 years, and to bring in the new spirit, it's nice to see someone new and upcoming. Although he's not so much upcoming, he's already a certitude in the FS. But it will be nice, I think, to share our knowledge with a new member, and certainly we're very, very welcoming Mike into the group. That's a little bit our story.
I think I wrote down a couple of topics that we can go over, unless there are questions from the guys out there. I think I would like to start with some history, actually, how Hayabusa came up the ranks. I can only tell you in detail, starting from 2010, how it all went. So I think I would like David to slowly tell a little bit the history from 2002 on, and then I can pick in from starting from 2010.
Yeah, I think the way how we really went up to the top position where we are now is with a lot of ups and downs. I think we had a lot of failures, but there was a lot of fun in the team. We had a lot of fun experimenting and learning from our heroes, actually, back in the days that were, of course, the French team and the US team. We were very looking up to them and tried to copy them as much as possible. I think when I look back at my past, when there was no high definition video recording, I watched the VHS tapes over and over again in slow motion, writing everything down. It was super crazy if I think about it, but it made, I think, me a much better skydiver than I am today, because I really understand what they were doing and try to copy them as much as possible. So, but again, I think we as a team back then, we failed a lot. We had a lot of great times, laughed immensely. So we were actually trying to become the national team. We never knew that it was possible. We never knew, but eventually you need to have like some sort of a dream. And our dream was first to become the national team, and then eventually maybe European. And then the ultimate one was to become a world champion. And the road towards that objective that we had, yeah, we were weekend warriors, like many of us, I think. So we paid everything ourselves. We slept in a tent. We had no money for fuel. But the most important thing is trying to jump as much as possible. And I think that really, if I think back at it, it still makes me very proud. I think we really had to work hard to become where we are now. It's not like they gave it there. You can be the next world champion. We give it on a plateau. So eventually, there was a first team that we had to win from. That was the current, not the current, but at that time the current military team, and they had a really nice level. That was 18 average and more, and for us it seems like that's a huge amount to look up to and try to beat them. And but we kept on training and we kept on learning from the best. We had some good advice from the French teams. And then eventually, I think in 2006, we came up to a confrontation between each other. So that means we were already training for 4 years together. We came up to a confrontation with each other to make sure that we get or it actually was a battle for the selection of the World Championships in 2006. in Gera in Germany, and we won that. And I think that was actually the first step, the first initial, let's say, moment in our team history that actually uplifted our level. That was actually knowing that we would be able to win if we put our minds to it. And so we won. We went to our first World Championship in Germany. We became sixth, and I think from then on it was just like skyrocketing. We gained so much confidence throughout those years. Before Dennis came in 2010, we switched a few team members, and then it's a fun story actually. But to be where we are at the moment, I think I can talk for hours like that. But this is a very specific moment, going actually from 2003 up till 2006. And now 2010, and the indoor championships are coming up, and we're becoming much more stronger. And then, of course, with Dennis stepping into the team, that actually uplifted our level a lot, because Dennis is actually an amazing flyer. And if you look at the results pre and post Dennis, before and after Dennis stepped in the team, I think Dennis was actually the game changer of the success of Hayabusa. That's what I believe.
Well, now you got me getting all red here, but so when I joined the team in 2010, before, let's say, I started jumping in 2005. My first year, actually, I was just jumping with my dad, and I saw these guys with these yellow rigs, and man, they were going so fast, and I was really, really looking up to them. And I was like, I told my dad, I said, like, man, I wanna do what they do. And actually, my father said, like, well, I know the guys, and so for me it was a huge surprise. My father and the father of David and Andy were good friends, so word came around, and I started training a lot with them. Like they said, paying out of my own pocket, just doing everything I can to get into the tunnel or get some coaching from them. And then maybe it gotten to a point where I was really stalking them. I remember calling Andy, my current peace partner now, all of the time, like, hey, how was training camp? And had nothing to do with the team whatsoever yet. And it went so crazy that I tattooed the Hayabusa logo on my back. And when I was not even on the team, I had that tattoo, and I was not even on the team. And the guy said, "Man, you are completely nuts." And I said, like, well, and the reason would still be the same if I would be. Well, the tattoo is more or less. I don't know if you can see it. You guys see it? It's right here somewhere. It was. It would have been my dream anyway. So if I wouldn't gotten in the team or not, it would have been. It would have been my dream anyway. So then I got the ask from the team to join, and I was over the moon, and so I started training hard and became their alternate in 2010. And from that point on, I just did everything I could to become better and be recognized. And then after that, after the World Championships in Russia that year, 2010, he stepped down, and I could take its place. And my first competition was actually a indoor meet in Holland, in Roosendaal, where I won my first competition with the team. Not a lot of training, just we went there, just see where we were at with me, and we won it. And then since then we won everything apart from one meet in 2018. Yeah, 2018. But for the rest, I won all indoor meets that I ever participated with the team, and I'm very proud of that result. And for the outdoor part, my first outdoor competition was in Dubai in the beginning of 2011. It was the IPC, if I remember correctly. And same thing, we were up against airspeed, and we were. I mean, as a team, you don't expect much. I mean, you just switched members. It is already hard enough as it is. So we just went there just to get some competition experience and whatnot. So and eventually ended up winning it on the well, not on the last round. I think I don't remember very well, but I know winning it. And yeah, since then it gave me and the team so much confidence that we are actually now really a top contender. And I think another competition that really stuck in my mind is 1 year later when we went again to Dubai for the Mondial in 2012. That was my first shot at a World Championship outdoor. Because that's for us the one that is really the main target is the outdoor World Championship, and being able to put the Excalibur, the sword, in the air is a dream. And we had one of the best meets that we could ever dream of, and I think the whole team would agree that it's still one of the meets that sticks in our mind, because we were again up against airspeed, and they were a very, very strong team at the time, very strong lineup, and we were going into round 8. We were 2 points down, and it was a jump where we said like, it would be nice to tie it, to not lose too many points, because we were 2 points down. So we just tried our best to tie the score and not to fall too far behind. But actually on that jump, we managed to pull off such a good jump where we gained 2 points on a jump that we didn't expect. So all of a sudden we were tied going into round 9. In round 9, I remember us saying like, this is a nice jump for us here. We might put some points up on them, and we did a good jump again. We landed, and we said like, man, we did a good one, so we feel good about this. But they tied again, so we were tied score going into round 10, and round 10 was a round where if you really want to pull it off well, you have to take some risks, which we did, and we made a mistake on the last second of the 35 seconds with not having a grip in our hands by missing it. So the Americans won that world meet with 1 point over us. But I think it was a heartbreaker at the time, but I think it made us as competitors. It made us stronger, and also for me, I had something in my head like I never want to lose like that again. That this is the one time I lose, and yeah. Yeah, Gavin, that was with block 2 in the end, exactly on the last on the last second. Yeah.
Speaking of the competition and training, what are some specific training stuff or rituals or anything that you guys have in your training? Can we speak a little bit about how you guys train, how often you train in the year, the types of camps you do, and everything like that?
Dave?
Okay. A half year before actually the year starts, let's say July, August, we we already start making our calendar, and it's at the end of August, it's complete. So we know 5 months in advance what the year is looking like. Most likely, we're looking at the indoor or the outdoor schedule. Now we have an alternating World Championship every year. So for example, you have a World Championship indoor and a World Championship outdoor 1 year later. So depending on what type of a year it is, we mainly concentrate to be at our best during the World Championship. So for example, this year is the World Championship outdoor. So we're a lot of outdoor skydiving related, jumping out of an airplane, making sure that we are at our best, at our peak, going into August before the World Championship starts. If it's a World Championship indoor, like how it was last year, then the months right before, we only do indoor. I can still remember last year was hell. It was like five months of an indoor training, and yeah, that was too much for us. Being actually a contender for both events, because you really need to separate indoor and outdoor. Although it looks the same, it's definitely not the same. So an indoor goes much more faster. The outdoor, we feel that as a group, as a team, we are definitely a skydiving outdoor team. We like that so much more. So what we do is we actually look back from the start of the World Championship, and then in a peak moment, we want to actually be on the top of our pyramid right before the World Championship starts. So if you look back, if you break it down, it's going to be like small and intense work, a little bit larger and a lot of work, and then on the bottom it's like a lot of jumps or a lot of wind tunnel training. And I'm thinking about 1 hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours per day in the wind tunnel months before the indoor championship starts. And if we're looking at outdoor, it's about 12 to 16 jumps per day every time when we go on a training camp. And mostly our training camps are like, because we have to travel from Belgium into Spain or from Belgium into Portugal when we go to skydive Amphoria Brava or to skydive Algarve, we can only do like short amounts of camps, short amount camps. So we do, for example, 10-day camps where we do like 80, 85 jumps and then drive back or fly back home. But it's just about between an average, I think, of 12 jumps per day. And then leading up closer to the World Championship, it starts to falling down more intense, more hard into 8, sometimes, yeah, let's say 8 jumps per day, depending on where we are. That's a little bit the breakdown of our team. So 5 months before the championship, no, 5 months actually before the year starts, we already know what is coming at us.
That's awesome. And how many camps and jumps would you guys end up doing per year? On an on year for the outdoor World Championships? In an outdoor
World Championship, we plan, regarding the budget, we plan to do close to 700, and mostly with the weather conditions and illnesses or sicknesses, we come around 580 to 620, 580 to 620 jumps. That's a little bit the average that we have in an outdoor on year. So it's not the huge amount, but I think what we're very strong at is when we skydive, when we do a jump, is actually we always try to make sure that it's our best jump all the time again. So one jump, let's make it our best jump ever. Second jump, okay, let's make it our best jump ever. So it's a personal, insight-driven factor of making sure that every jump that you do is going to be your best one. And so for us, it's not that much the quantity, is actually the quality of jumps that we do.
Awesome. Sorry, Dennis.
Yeah, I see a question from Max regarding training in the tunnel, regarding training efficiency. He asked if it's recommended to do weekly or monthly training. I would say I've come through the conclusion, working with a lot of teams as well, is that it depends on a lot of people's availability. But let's say in in the perfect scenario, you want to definitely be looking at weekly training, so that you can keep the amount that you fly, that you can keep it low, so you can keep the intensity up. A lot of the times people run into problems with their schedules because they are working and stuff like that. So they do maybe once or twice they do a tunnel camp, let's say, and then they fly a huge amount, but they're super tired that they can actually throw away the maybe 2 hours of flying that they did. So it's a fine balance between flying enough to have covered everything for training, but not becoming tired and basically having to throw away half an hour of tunnel time because it kind of sucked. Yeah.
We have a question here from Travis. He's asking if you guys use any software or tools to analyze and track your block times or performance.
Well, I'm the manager actually of our Excel file. So what we did is actually from the past, we start timing our blocks, meaning from the start of a block till the arrival and then the key of the block, and we just put it in an Excel file. Not all of them, because the training does not allow every time again your fastest times. So what we did is we covered all the competition jumps. We timed all the blocks. We put it in an Excel file, and we already have that since, let me see, since 2010. Since 2010 until 2020, we have everything covered from, of course, our team, the French team at their highest level, and also the US teams, be it rhythm or be it airspeed. And then we compare ourselves, like, where are we according to them? And we also have it for indoor. So we block the times to see where we are and if we're on a good track, yes or no, and where do we need to readjust. So it's nice to have like some sort of a, where are we according to our opponents. And I feel now, we feel as a group that even a slight moment when the block is not feeling how it should feel, we already know how to adapt it or how to make it better in the future. So we're not super fine-tuning the block cheats, not so much anymore, but it's more like a sensation that we have that came up by experience. So the block timing cheats is already like more on the side now, because the indoor competitions have become so intense and so much that it was almost impossible to keep track of all the records. But it's now some more of an internal sensation that like, okay, that block is on the right track, or definitely not, and then we need to redevelop, search and develop that block again to make it even better or faster. Because eventually it all comes down on being the fastest within 35 seconds over 10 rounds.
Cool, thank you, David. So we have another question from Andrew, and maybe Mike, maybe you could put your view on this since you're a little newer to the team. But he's asking how you guys settle disputes or tell a teammate to be better or less shit. So Mike, I was wondering if you have any thoughts on how the guys have given you feedback as a newer member of the team, and how you guys experience that together.
Yeah, this is a really nice question, because I think that this question is like a problem for all the teams. So all the teams have problems, let's say, with maybe other people, with teammates or other people. And I think it's like a relation that you have with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend. And it's just about communication. So it's the way you communicate with your peace partner, with your team member. So when people, it's just a way. So it's like, if I say, hey, you have to do this one, just pointing your finger, it's like saying to another teammate, hey, I say what I do, what you have to do. But it's not so like this. You have to just put yourself in a kind way. Like, hey, what do you think if we do this? So it's not putting the I in the team. It's like I'm the best. I have more experience. I do what you do what I have to say. But it's just communicate and try to do what the team needs. So it's not about what I need, but it's about what the team needs. So for example, it's really easy to work with the guys with Hayabusa because even me, that I have less experience of the team, they ask me, "Hey, Mike, what do you think about this?" So even to me, that I have maybe less experience than them. So it's like to do a step backward all together and communicate by each other. So if you arrive to have a peace partner that you think it's shit, let's say that it's too late because it's the peace partner that needs to make a step backward and try to communicate with all the team.
Awesome. And I want to know, since you're new, is there an initiation ritual for you as a new member? Did you have to get hazed?
Not yet.
I think
We need to shave his head.
If you have some ideas for a hazing ritual, type them in the comment box. Maybe we can get one for Hayabusa for their next new member.
Yeah, we can film them and put them online.
Yeah.
I saw also a nice question from Attila.
Attila? That's our
Attila?
right?
Yeah.
Mike, I hope you know Attila.
Hi, Attila.
But it's really nice in this question because the question is, what can you do to prepare the war meet now with no jumping or tunnel? Is there anything the team can do to keep up the spirit? So just people think that training is just going to a drop zone and jump, but behind the jumping, there's lots of training to do. It's like home training, workout, and the important tool that we use when we don't jump is the visualization. So just visualize all the randoms, all the blocks, visualizing draw every day, just to keep up the mind. It's scientifically proven that if you think a movement, the brain doesn't compare if it's real or not. So if you think that you're flying, the mind is like thinks that you're really flying. So that's an important tool that you can use when you don't fly. So just visualize the movement, and it's like that you train. So visualization is the tool that we use when we don't jump.
Yeah, and that one is for free.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. We have one more question, which is, which canopies are you guys flying while you're training?
We fly, currently we're all flying the Icarus Leias. We've been going through a lot of canopies throughout the years to kind of find what suits for us. And I think we are definitely a team that like to have a fast flying canopy, something, because for us it's a big part of the jump, having fun on the canopy. That's where, I mean, that's if I'm personally speaking, but I know I speak for the team as well, that we have, yeah, like Gavin says, team swoops. And, you know, with the canopies that's been developing now, there's just such a new and a higher level of canopy development now. You know, back in the day, it was when the Stiletto came out at first. Then it was a Velocity with the Extreme VX and whatnot, and then it all got bumped up to Petras, Peregrines, Leias, Valkyries, whatever. So we're currently jumping Leias. We've been going through 4 years with the JFX, which we absolutely loved, very reliable canopy, and now we're on Leias. A little bit more sporty, a little bit more nervous, but I mean, we make it work, and I think you just need something that's very reliable and consistent. But you know, for our team, I don't think we need to start jumping a Sapphire or whatever. So although it's very reliable, but yeah, big part of our fun that goes away.
Awesome. So we have time for one more short question. We just have about 4 minutes left now. And Janica wanted to know, how would you rate the use or advantage of indoor trainings for outdoor prepping? They come from a new beginning team in Belgium, so they've got their 4-way training in the tunnel to be preparing for the upcoming outdoor season. They just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Dennis, go ahead. Dennis, go ahead.
I think it's very important to know where you're at with the team. I think definitely as a beginner team, the tunnel helps a lot to boost your level. But there will be a point in time, if you are outdoor focused more or less, where you have to be jumping, and on, let's say, if there's a weather day, and you're already short on money, where everybody would say like, I want to fly, let's go to the tunnel and do something. Sometimes I would say to those teams, keep the money for the jumps, because there is so much that you are not able to see in the tunnel that cannot replicate, let's say, what's happening in the sky. But for a beginning team, definitely the tunnel is the way to go. That will already fix all the stuff when you're outside, when not regarding the exit and the first 10 seconds and whatnot. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. So we just have a couple of minutes left. So can you guys tell everyone on the call where they can find you guys on social media?
Mike?
You can find us on Instagram with Skydive Hayabusa, and on Facebook on Hayabusa NMPPCH, and the personal page if you want. It's Michele Sydney, as you know, Dennis Pratt, David Grgs, Andy Grgs, and Jeroen Nolle.
Great. And maybe some more questions and stuff. We'll see if these guys want to do another one. But for the last couple of seconds that we have on the call, we're just going to open it up for everyone to say hi, have a little bit of a chat, shout fuck yeah, whatever you want to do. So Maria's just going to unmute everyone for a little bit. You should see your mute button go off shortly. And keep your videos on so we can all see you. Mikey,
I did it to you, and then fucking, you know, then it went a bit skew whiff, and that was my fault, so I apologise.
Enjoy.
It's okay.
Hi, everyone.
Nasa now.
Hey, Mike, you know who Attila is?
They just moved to.
Hello.
Whoa.
Nice haircut, Andy.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It's welcome to have you.
Really sick.
All right. Hey, thank you everyone so much. Last couple of seconds. Come and join us again tomorrow. And Woogie on. Bye.